Chris Buffalo here. Welcome to Prepping for Stain. Today I'm going to look at an installation-oriented view of preparation, and I want to provide evidence of the value of doing it right versus long-term maintenance budget costs, okay? For the comprehensive view, you absolutely have to take the Stain webinar because I go into why there are $100,000 over 10-year impact decisions. So I'm going to roll with the installation part of the video now, and then make sure you take the Stain webinar. All right, so I like this slide because it's indisputable. We're always telling people on the smooth face you have to sand it before you put your stain on it. This is the exact same board. The picture on the right was unsanded, but we planed it smooth. Picture on the left, we planed smooth and sanded it. And as you can see, the sanded board accepts the water, it radiates out and penetrates in a much more uniform fashion. Now, if you extrapolate this out over an entire wall of siding, you can really understand how much of a difference the performance of your stain is affected by whether or not you sand the board first. This is a picture of building that wasn't sanded properly, and what happens is the stain wears out prematurely, okay? So you get early graying. This happened within the first year and a half, all right? And you say, well, maybe that's not such a big deal. This is a slide from my stain webinar. Take the stain webinar. If you're gonna buy wood, it has $100,000 impact decisions over 10 years. This is one of them. Every year, if you're gonna have a professional knows what he's doing, do it. It's gonna be between $15 and $18 a square foot. If you extrapolate that out per 1,000 square feet, you're talking $15,000 to $18,000 you save every year you don't have to maintain. Let's take a look back at how much it costs to sand first. If this house needs to be done every 2 years versus every 4, that is $30,000 to $36,000 difference in maintenance budget. That's why these steps that I'm talking about, these little steps like sanding first, make a huge difference. On the other hand, I always say this for designers and people thinking about using wood. The rough face solves all of these problems. Everybody who wants to do clear cedar wants to do it on the smooth face because they love the smooth face, it's great. But the rough face takes care of all of the dummy items. It takes care of, you don't need to handle it as softly. You don't need to worry about smudging it. You don't need to worry about monkeys in the mill putting fingerprints on it, all right? Rough face textures like this, so the stain penetrates way more deeply into the board. And this is a picture I use for architects and presenters because this fence on the right is rough and the building on the left is smooth, okay? I'm back 10 feet, I'm over 40. I really don't see $30,000 to $50,000 difference in these two looks, right? But that rough face fence is going to last 4 years, and that one on the left is going to last 2, and that is $30,000 to $36,000 for the difference between these two looks. You make up your own mind on that. All right, so rule number 1 when we're talking about finishing a board properly is you seal all 6 sides before you put it up on the wall. You don't just put it up and stain the face. You got to protect the backside from moisture migrating out from the inside of the house, and you also want to wrap the board equally with liquid so you don't have forces of drying making the board want to cut. So rule number 1 of properly taking care of wood is always seal all 6 sides. Now, as you can imagine, sealing all 6 sides and sanding the face is very difficult to do in the field. How are you going to put it? Where are you going to put it to dry? How are you going to keep the bugs and the twigs and the dirt off of it, okay? These are the challenges that prevent people from doing it right and cause a lot of the problems. So one of the things you do for that is we use factory finish machines. A factory finish machine has jets on the bottom, jets on the top, rollers on the top, bottom, and sides, and it runs through the machine with an even coating on the face and the 2 side edges. Now on the back side, all we need is a seal on that. So we'll turn those jets down. It'll be a little bit uneven on the back, but uniform and perfection on the top and the 2 side edges. So factory finish is oftentimes a way to remove a lot of human error factor and realistically properly finish your boards. And it's actually more cost effective. So I always tell people you can't do it better or cheaper than a machine can do it. And lastly, this picture here. My entire premise for my entire series is that wood is a love affair. You don't do wood as a design aspect if you're only halfway like it, because there's too much work taking care of it. It's a love affair. You love it. You take care of it. You baby it, man. This is beautiful. Like, this is what I love about wood. And if this is my house, I'm out there when it has a black spot. You don't ask a woman to marry you and say, "Hey, I want to marry you at 5 years. If you start getting a black spot on your leg, hey, I'll let it go another couple years." And that's not how you do it. You love it. When you see a spot, you take care of it. If you're walking around and you're doting on your wood, you're going to have a lifelong love affair. Thanks.